Momentum, speed, and haste. All three words perfectly describe Rush, a game that will have you flying down mountains and weaving through canyons, all while competing for first place. But can Rush handle the speed and keep up with the rest? How about we find out by first taking a look at its objective and gameplay. Rush is a wingsuit flying game where your objective is to place above the rest, be it through racing, time attack, or score challenges. It also features multiple environments that are unlocked through its progression system, which requires placing in the top 3 positions of each event in the race mode. Do note that the other game modes don't actually award points towards unlocking other environments, and only the race mode allows you to progress in unlocking new events and locations. The gameplay itself is simple to understand. You hold out your hands to your side to maintain a glide, lower them down to drop fast and pick up speed, raise them up to slow down and gain some height, and to turn, you just lower one hand while raising the other, or just leaning left to right works too. You also have a boost gauge as well, which fills up whenever flying through checkpoints or by playing it dangerous and flying close to the ground or other things that can make you crash. To activate the boost, you just have to hit both of the triggers on the controllers. I do want to note that Rush offers various other control methods as well, such as movement through analog stick, controller tilting, head tracking, pointing, and the default method. With that said, having tried them all, only the default method left me comfortable enough to play for a long session. Every other method led to fairly quick, if not instant, VR motion sickness, so I really can't speak too much on whether one is more advantageous than the other. But it is nice to know the options are there, as some users may enjoy their experience using different control methods. I will say that this game is certainly more on the intense side when it comes to comfort, and I wouldn't recommend it as a title to jump into if you're new to VR due to that. Now, with everything said, I found myself getting hooked on its gameplay loop. Racing through tight spots and playing it dangerous is tons of fun and very rewarding. I quickly got into racing for top spots on the global leaderboard once I got the hang of things, but not everything about it is perfect. First off, the progression system really should allow you to advance through it no matter which mode you prefer to play on. Locking it to races only leads to some issues on unlocking the next location. This is due to the game having a sudden spike in difficulty. That is, until I found out that the best way to play the game isn't to follow the pack, but rather to carve out your own route from checkpoint to checkpoint. Once I started doing that, I found it pretty easy to progress throughout the rest of the game, and frankly, I started to enjoy it a whole lot more too. Now that you have a good idea of what its gameplay is like, let's discuss features and content.
Welcome to Sunburst Canyon. This spectacular gorge is the result of erosive activity of rivers over millions of years. Hopefully you'll get through it a little quicker than that. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, go!
Rush features various game modes, including a checkpoint-based race against AI opponents, a race against the clock for the fastest times, a score-based challenge mode where playing it dangerous is rewarded along with giving you targets to aim for in checkpoints, and a free fly mode that has various collectibles to find hidden in every location as an added bonus. Rush also features multiplayer where you can compete in events with other players and supports crossplay between PC, Quest, Gear VR, Oculus Go, and PSVR users. It features a total of 5 locations, each containing 20 events that follow a different route down with various weather effects as well. Global and friend leaderboards are included for the various game modes, and as mentioned before, the game offers multiple control options, so be sure to test which one works best for you. Lastly, the game offers customization through unlocking different styled wingsuits as you progress through the game. Honestly speaking, I was left pretty impressed with the amount of content you get for its price. I certainly think it justifies its asking price, and while I would like to see more locations, the ones included do a good job of providing a good enough variety that the different routes are interesting enough to have fun with. Now let's discuss visuals and immersion.
Approaching jump point. Ready for jump.
Rush has some decent graphics, and visually speaking has very good looking areas mixed with some not so good looking areas in the game. For example, the forest areas of the first location at times can look pretty flat when compared to their surroundings. With that said, Rush isn't the type of game where you'll be taking your time to inspect the textures, due to the nature of its gameplay that has you flying down the mountain at insane speeds. That's where the immersion kicks in. The sense of speed you get from heading down a mountain as fast as possible is easy to understand and feel in this game. Anytime you decide to risk flying low to the ground or in between mountains, you can't help but feel a bit of tension of exactly how low you are. But if you're looking for the top times, it's the best way to play. Not only that, but it's my preferred way to play. As it states in its name, it really does feel like a rush once you get the hang of how to efficiently pick up speed and go for top times in the leaderboard. Another nice touch has to be the effect that weather has on your vision. For example, flying through the waterfall or the rain has a raindrop effect on your mask, or how flying close to the grass has blades of grass flying across your view. The default control method also really helps in terms of immersion, as the sense of control just clicks in with the way your brain would expect it to work, and as such makes Rush a very immersive feeling game. To conclude, Rush offers fun and exhilarating gameplay that is immersive to play. It manages to do a lot of things right. It provides solid gameplay, great immersion, and a fun gameplay loop. There's a good amount of content, and while I do wish there were more locations, they did a good job at creating multiple routes in each one, all while still making them stand out in their own way. My biggest gripe throughout the whole experience is that the other game modes included outside of race don't really count toward your progression whatsoever. This really makes them lose their appeal despite being well thought out. I just didn't find myself wanting to play them at all, knowing I could rather be playing race mode and actually unlocking more events and locations. All in all, the game is one I'll recommend for those wanting a good sense of speed and immersion in their VR titles. For those that want to compete in leaderboards for best times or just enjoy a good race. But if you're new to VR or get motion sickness easily, I will have to suggest you hold off until you have your VR legs ready for an intense experience. Now, if you enjoyed the review, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell below if you're wanting more virtual reality videos and reviews. Right now on the screen, you'll be seeing my most recent video and what YouTube thinks you'll like most. I hope you have a great day, and always keep on cruising.